Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And I welcome you all to this session on behalf of Ethic Advisory. Now we would like to start our session now. How often do you, as business owners, say this to yourself that I've been doing the exact same thing for so many days and for so long, and it's not working out? Albert Einstein once said that doing the same thing and expecting a different result is insanity. But it does not mean that you stop trying or stop doing. It means that you need to change what you're doing and how you do it. So if you're looking at growing your business or taking your business to the next level, or from good to great, what is it that you need to do or to create an award-winning business for yourself? Well, this session today is going to answer all of that. So our panelists today will talk to you about 3 secrets which are only implemented by 1% of business owners. So make sure that you have your notebooks and pens out and are attentive for the next 60 minutes or so. And you can use the chat box to the fullest, type in your questions and thoughts, and we will take them up towards the end of the session or during the session. So without taking any more time, I would like to introduce our speaker for the day. We have Mr. Abhimanyu Yadav. Abhimanyu is a business coach and an HR professional at heart. He has handled various HR leadership roles in MNCs and large Indian corporates with over 15 years of experience. He has driven large teams across Southeast Asia markets and holds 20 plus international HR certifications. He has a coaching expertise in SME businesses with small business owners and with startups, and is also an author of an upcoming book called Think Inside the Box, a 13-step guide to transform your business for future. He's also he has an experience of setting up 3 successful businesses from scratch, with his strong areas being business coaching, leadership and talent management, HR advisory, and change management. With him, we have the moderator with us, Coach Ratish Pandey, a business coach armed with proven growth strategies from the world's #1 business coaching company, Action Coach. Ratish utilizes his lifelong learnings and experience to assist SME business owners in addressing their challenges and helping them achieve a higher growth for their businesses, their teams, as well as in their personal goals. Ratish comes with over 35 years of corporate experience in India and overseas in senior management roles across multinational companies. He has handled diverse aspects of building businesses successfully and has had an opportunity to work with teams from various backgrounds and cultures. He also spends time mentoring and coaching startups. So with this, I would like to hand it over to Ratish, sir.
Thank you, Mansi. Really appreciate the kind introduction. Okay, friends, welcome again. Abhimanyu and I are going to have a fantastic conversation over the next 35 to 40 minutes. And we will be happy to address any questions that come to your mind while we are having this conversation. So definitely keep typing your questions in the chat box, and given the time permitting, I will try and address and throw as many over to Abhimanyu. Now, Abhimanyu's experience is, and he has a very strong experience on the human resources side. And therefore, today my conversation with him is going to be more about how can we utilize our human resources to the best and continue to grow our business and really excel in it. So with that, Abhimanyu, as we start, the first question that comes to my mind is, and this, in my coaching experience in the last, especially in the last 6 to 8 months, the biggest challenge that people have come to me is India is a country of a billion plus people. We talk about the positive workforce demographics that India has with so many people in India. But 90% of SME business owners really do not have the ability to hire the right person. So really the question that I'm putting out in front of you is 90% SME owners do not have consistent or reliable system of hiring, and which actually leads to, let's start with that. Let me first throw this question at you. Why do you think, and what could possibly SME business owners do in terms of fine tuning and finding those right people in, and how can they change their hiring process?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mansi, for that super introduction. And by the way, I had written and given that to her yesterday evening. All right. And thank you for all of you to have taken out precious time to come and join us for this interesting discussion. Now, before starting, I would put a question across to all our audiences, and I hope you are able to put your answers in the chat quickly and let us know. Tell me, what is that one thing which will stop you from learning something or taking away something out of this webinar? So the question is open to all the audience. So just put it in the chat box and let us know, so that there is some interaction, there is some give and take, right? And we also get our energy from the audience itself. So I'm waiting to see some answers in the chat box. Okay, so this reminds me of very interesting thought that somebody shared. The thing which is actually stopping you from typing something in the chat box is the very thing which will actually stop you from taking away something out of this webinar. So I'll repeat, the thing which stops you from writing in the chat box is the thing which will stop your learning. So I hope and urge that all of you do chat, use the chat box and interact with us, and let's make it a two-way communication, right? Okay, so coming back to the question that you raised, Ratish sir. So it is, very, very pertinent question. And when we interact with a lot of business owners, this is something which comes very often in, front of us. But again, I would want to start with, again, a very crucial point, which is there. So do all of us agree that people are one of the most critical resources to start and run a business? If you agree, go and write me in the chat box. Do you agree that people or your employees are one of the most critical resources? Thank you. Now I see some energy going. So maybe you have your coffee and chai with you. Some answers. Thank you, Bhavani. Yes, I agree. Simran, yes. So all of us actually agree that, people are one of the critical resources in our business. Now, my second question to all of you is, do you know what is the cost that the business pays in case of a wrong hire? By wrong hire, I mean that, take an example, you have somebody who's come on board, spends 1 or 2 months or 3 months, you realize, things are not working out and the person actually leaves, or you ask the person to leave. Are you aware what is the actual cost to the business of that? Right. Just put in your answers in the chat box so that we know and we can, start a conversation. Thank you, Bhavani. So Bhavani says we may lose the client. It may cost very high. Okay. Galaxy F12, 0 or minus. Okay, I'll share quickly. See, there was a recent study from Harvard Business Review, and they found out some of the tangible value which is there, right? So it is as high as, so if you assume somebody who's coming at a cost of 1 lakh per month, the direct cost to the business is equivalent to 12 months of salary of that particular person. So it will be 12 lakhs. And this doesn't include the other, collateral damage that the person may do. So, low morale, your, clients or your brand reputation in the market may suffer, right? And there are a lot of associated benefits. If you actually add, you cannot even imagine the cost of a wrong hire, which the business takes upon itself, right? So which brings me to this question that although all of us know that people are a very important resource, but we find that in our research that over 90% of the SME business owners actually they do not have a consistent, reliable, and predictive system for hiring. And yes, yes, yeah.
And that actually brings me to a very issue. What do you mean by consistent, reliable, and a predictive hiring system? What would that constitute of?
Okay.
What do you mean by predictive, consistent?
Okay. So if I were to give you an analogy, you think about, for example, marketing, right? So is it that we are waiting for referral client, to fall in our, what we call, something to come in our joli, which is a walk-in sort of a client, or we have, a system which is there, which is regular, repetitive. We know which are, who's our target customer actually. Where is the target customer? We can find the target customer, right? What is the actual need or the pain point of the target customer? We have a way to communicate and reach out to that particular customer, right? And we are able to attract that customer to our business by showing them and offering them what we have, what we have different from the market. So it is similar to a hiring system. It has to be available in the market. You need to know what kind of talent you're looking at when you actually want to go out. What is your need? Where exactly you will go and find the talent? That is the second piece. So we need to know whether they are on social media, whether they are in a local job site, or whether they are in a portal. Where exactly we are going to find it? What is the message that we want to give out to these people, right? And I'll talk about that piece a little later, which comes under branding, which is part of branding. And then how are you able to actually attract them to you consistently? So there is a regular lead and regular applications which are coming to the business, and so that you are in a position of choice. You have enough people, quality people applying to you, and you can choose out of them. So which actually brings me to so there are several things which we can look at in terms of if this is the problem, what is the solution? So I would talk about if a business owner, I were to go and ask anyone, if I were to go and ask Bhavani or Bhagwan Singh who are there, and I were to ask them what is the hiring source they have, how do they hire, kahan se aate hain unke paas log aaj ki date mein? They may tell me, Abhimanyu, we have 1 or 2. If we are very lucky, they may say 3, 4 hiring sources, right? But most of the business owners do not actually are aware that there are more than 30 to 35 different hiring sources, possible hiring sources.
Wow.
Right? Now, what I'm saying is that there is something which might actually fit into your business, right? Which will be relevant for your business. I am not saying that you leave what is working for you. What I'm saying is that have a wider viewpoint, right? Look at what else is possible in case you're struggling. So for example, you may want to look at the data of the past 12 months, see what has worked, which are the sources from which, and sources from which people have come into the business, and who are the people actually who are doing well. So actually you want to see which are the sources who are able to give you good quality candidates, and then you again go back and sort of work on those areas. So that is one, have a wider viewpoint in terms of looking at the hiring sources. And today you see there are so many multiple options which are available. So you have job sites, you have social media, you have a number of other offline mediums which are available for looking at talent, right? Only thing is that the business owner needs to rather expand the viewpoint. That is one. Second, something which we have seen and which has actually worked. So I worked with companies with 10 people to as large as 3,500, 4,000 people companies, right? So there is a wide spectrum. What we have seen is that one small hack that if I were to share with all the participants today, you want to know a hack which could be very, very useful for your businesses? If yes, just let me know in the chat box so that I can go ahead and share that with you. All right. If you look very closely, thank you, Akanksha, Nitya, right, Sonal. So Sonal would agree with me. I mean, thank you, Sonal, for joining in. Right, there is something called referral hiring. Right, what happens is that if you have a good image in front of your employees, if you have a good image in the market, and you have a good referral policy. So referral is where anyone who works with you goes ahead in the market and brings a candidate to you. Right, now there are 3-4 advantages to this particular policy. One is in terms of cost, pretty cost effective as against you go ahead and advertise outside. Right, second, you get somebody who is known to an employee of yours. Right, so that gives a good head start to you. Right, so and this we have deployed very, very successfully in my previous experiences with HDFC Bank, with large companies like PCM Shriram. Worked very well. So we used to get almost 25 to 30% of our people, and I'm talking about huge numbers. So we are hiring about 4,500, 5,000 people in a quarter.
So,
Yeah,
Abhimanyu, when you deploy this referral policy, do you have to give some money to the employees, or it is just word of mouth and it is just pat on the back?
Okay, so when we very pertinent question. When we advise, we work with a lot of business owners. When we advise, ideal scenario is actually have a policy which actually incentivizes people to bring in quality, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise also it works. Only difference is the effectiveness. Of course, if you're incentivizing something, it will work wonders, right? So that is the second piece. Third is that you need to look at actually, very often I see business owners when we work with them, they try and fit in everyone in sort of same box, right? So what happens, you look at, there are 3-4 levels, typical levels in an organization. So you have entry level, which is called an individual contributor role, right? Somebody who's working on the shop floor or doing an individual role, handling an individual role. Second one is about somebody who's supervising that a particular person, so could be a manager, right? Third one, in larger organizations, some of you who have more than, let's say, 100 people, you would have the third level, which is called a manager of managers, right? Somebody who's handling a department, multiple departments. And then the fourth level is, of course, the board of directors, if it is there, or the owner. So having said that, now we need to be very sensitive and aware as to what level and what kind of skill we are trying to hire. So strategy for hiring a blue collar worker for shop floor would be different. So might be I am looking at something which is sort of walking into the factory, or people getting in referrals. Vis-a-vis the strategy for getting in a white collar or a managerial level of employees, right? So we should not be averse to any particular source. We should be open. We need to look at hiring from consulting firms. We need to look at hiring from job sites, whatever works. But the point I'm trying to make is that hiring is extremely crucial, and we do not even fathom the kind of loss that we incur to the business by not following his strategy. So
let me ask you one question on this, because SME business owners, they'll say, hey, what you're telling me means that I need to have an HR manager or somebody in-house with me to look at everything like this. Do you have alternative approaches on this aspect?
Okay, so very good question. So even in our the participants today, we may have people who are sort of solopreneurs, people who are on their own, or people with small teams, 5 to 10 people, right? or even 500 or 1,000 people. So again, look at the need that you have for your particular business and have a strategy which fits in to your requirement. So I'll share an example. So we have a client who is into garment exports. So they are a buying house. They have about 14 or 15 odd employees currently. So we are working with them for the past year or so, right? So the strategy that they have is a referral strategy that we have sort of deployed for them, employee referral strategy, and which has worked super fantastic in terms of the kind of resources that they are getting. So we have, again, whatever we are preaching, we are actually sort of implementing on the ground. So this has worked for them. We have also looked at sort of taking help from external agencies for them, right? And third piece is looking at hiring fresh talent. So we every year go to the top 3 or 4 campuses, right? So they've been doing it over the past couple of years, and they hire fresh talent from there, right? People who are into designing or merchandising or whatever is the requirement. So the point is that you fine tune the strategy according to your requirement. Now, similarly, a solopreneur may not need it today, but when we look at the solution, you will see that the strategy, the learning is very important. So if you're ready with the learning, you'll be able to deploy it tomorrow. Which actually brings me to this third piece I was, some time ago I was talking about, which is employer branding, right? And which goes hand in hand with the other couple of things that we've spoken about. So मैं जब भी बिजनेस ओनर से बात करता हूँ, वो मुझे काफी बार पूछते हैं, अभिमन्यु, हमने प्रोडक्ट की ब्रांडिंग के बारे में सुना है, हमने सर्विस की ब्रांडिंग के बारे में भी सुना है, बट ये एम्प्लॉयर ब्रांडिंग क्या चीज होती है, और हमें क्या फायदा होगा, हमें क्यों करना है? So just for the benefit of all, very, very interestingly, so how I explain this is, your employer brand is how your potential employee who's standing in the market looks at you as an employer, and what is the message actually you are giving out to him. That is your employer brand. And it is, sort of a two-edged sword. If it is good, you will have sort of, people applying to you, what you call in Hindi, bhar bhar ke, you will have lots and lots of applications. Or if it is not so good, which is the case in some cases, then it will, sort of repel people away from your organization. So you have your own employees, you have others recommending कि भाई वो, शर्मा जी की कंपनी है मानेसर के अंदर, वहां जाके आप काम मत करिएगा, बाकी आप दुनिया में कहीं पे भी जाके काम करिए, right? So this thing is extremely important, not very difficult. Again, we work with a lot of MSME companies, so we need to take small steps, right, every single day, in which actually builds your employer brand, and in the medium to long run, it creates that particular pipeline that we're talking about.
Yeah. So what I hear from you is, if we become a hire and fire company because we have not hired right at the first instance, your employer branding will go down. So be mindful of that, folks. Let me change tracks now, Abhimanyu. And
Ratish, just one more thing, I think, again, very crucial, since we are talking, and I'm sure all our participants would want to know about it. Again, when we have a conversation with the business owners, a lot of them tell us that, Abhimanyu, you talk about, education. तो भाई मुझे सीख के क्या करना है? Where is the need for me to get educated? मुझे तो जाके hiring नहीं करनी है, मुझे जाके employer branding नहीं करनी है. Why me? And why should I know the best practices? क्या होगा? But you would see that, whatever you do in your organization, and more importantly, whatever you do not do, so deep within you, that you perhaps do not have enough knowledge about it, or you do not like a particular aspect. आप sort of आप लिख के ले लीजिए मुझसे, that particular thing will not happen in a good manner in your organization, because your managers will look at you, what you're doing, and they will again percolate the similar things down the line. So extremely important for all of us to educate ourselves कि मार्केट में हो क्या रहा है और मुझे अपनी कंपनी को कैसे आगे लेके जाना है. व्हाट आर द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस, what is it that the top 1% SME business owners are doing and the rest 99% are not doing? And business owner education is one, I would say, one of the biggest aspects of that particular thing.
Well said, well said. Great, great point. And actually, this brings me to my next question to you. And that is about, in corporates, we call it succession planning. In SMEs, we can call it how does the owner build the effective second line of managers? Because every owner goes through a journey, right? There's an entrepreneurial ladder. You start alone, and over the next 2-3 years, you build your business, get more people in, and continue to drive and walk up the entrepreneurial ladder. The question that I have for you is, Abhimanyu, and this is an interesting question, and I believe and I'm sure all the attendees here would really be interested in understanding this. How does one, especially as an SME owner, build an extremely effective second line of managers? Now, this could be, if it's a large SME, let's say 500 employees, it could be how do you build your managers and how do you build your management cadre? But if it's a smaller organization, it could be effectively just right below the owner, those set of key managers who really become the backbone of your company. Your thoughts there?
True, I think very pertinent thing, and this is, if I were to look at our sort of study, over 2/3, which is over 65% of the business owners actually either do not have a second line or they do not have an effective second line. So there is a difference between the two. I may have a lot of managers and handling, but they may not be aligned to the company. They may not be able to effectively implement what I want them to do. But before jumping in and talking about this, would want to know from the participants, आप मुझे बताइए एक चीज कि if you close your eyes, put your hand sort of on your heart and think about the time when you started the business. अगर आप ये सोच के बताएं कि आपने बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने का क्या कारण था, आपने क्यों शुरू किया था अपना बिजनेस, और आप अगर शेयर करना चाहें, यू कैन शेयर इन द चैट बॉक्स एंड लेट अस नो व्हाई डिड यू स्टार्ट दिस बिजनेस दैट यू आर करंटली डूइंग. Is it to start your day at 6 a.m. and finish your day at 11 in the night? Is it to be working 7 days in a week? Or is it to be working in all the departments? So you have sort of 10 hands and you are doing a lot of juggling. So marketing, leads nahi hai, I'm running around doing the marketing. Sales nahi ho rahi, I am going and doing the selling, right? Some of us, so do share in the chat box. Some of us find ourselves in that particular situation. Sales kar di, dispatch mein issue aa raha hai. Again, I'm there, Diwali time, I am there and helping the dispatch. Dispatch ho gaya, and my team comes and tells me कि Abhimanyu, the collections are not happening. So I'm picking the phone and calling the customer. Hello, sir. I hope we are able to serve you well. I learned from my teammate कि sir कुछ पैसा बाकी था, आपने पे करना था. So I am trying to do everything on my own. Fantastic. So Ravi shares, I didn't want to work under somebody. Bhavani. Yes, Bhavani, very right. Thought business is simple, but realized when I got into it, right? ऐसा ही होता है. We start. In fact, this is the story for most of us. We start, without knowing where to go. So the point that I'm trying to make it, that the why, which is the most important question, is actually it is a harsh truth, but it is not clear to most of us. That is one. Second, again, a follow-up question, and you think about it very deeply. Let's assume a case where you are currently you started and today you are sitting at, let's say, at 1 CR of turnover, 1 crore of turnover, right? So of course you have done something good. You have some qualities, you have a product, you have a way to deliver the service, and you have done this yatra from 0 to 1 crore. And now you want to do a yatra from 1 crore to 10 crore. 1 crore से 10 crore आप जाना चाह रहे हैं. मुझे आप एक चीज बताइए कि आप जो करंट माइंडसेट है हमारा एज ए बिजनेस ओनर और हमारे जो करंट स्किल सेट हैं, अगर हम उन्हीं को लेके कंटिन्यू करें तो क्या हम वो 1 करोड़ से 10 करोड़ की यात्रा कंप्लीट कर पाएंगे? Right. So I see only Bhavani, Bhagwan, and a few Nitya. Welcome. Answering. I would request, again, like we shared at the start, for you to share and give energy in the chat box, through the chat box. Galaxy F12. No, right. So very clearly, as they say, what got you here will not get you there, right? That is not possible. And that's the exact reason why, if we want to grow, we need to have a strong, effective, aligned, and capable team, which is well trained to be able to take your vision forward. So I'll quickly talk about three things. How many things? So there are actually n number of solutions possible, but we are just going to talk about 3 things. First thing, and please, if you have a pen and paper, note it down. I think this is one of the most crucial aspects of the webinar today. And we hope that you are able to take away at least one thing which you are able to implement in your businesses. So first thing, which is sort of, which comes out and which is not there when we talk about business owners. When we talk to them, they are somehow very afraid of a word called delegation. When we talk about delegation, तो बड़ा घबराते हैं, delegation. नहीं, मेरा product है, मेरी company है, I will keep everything to me. नहीं, possible नहीं है, दूंगा नहीं, कितना भी अच्छा manager आ जाए, I will not give it. वो तो कर ही नहीं सकता जैसी सेल मैं कर सकता हूँ. मैं तो सर किसी भी कस्टमर के सामने बैठ जाता हूँ तो मैं तो चेक लेके ही आता हूँ. अब वो एक नए लड़के को लगाया हमने, कर ही नहीं पा रहा है, right? So first thing, if we have to grow, friends, we need to come out of this mindset of, fear of delegation, I would say, right? And if we are able to come out of it, the second step we need to take is to have clearly laid out goals and roles for everyone, right? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. I'll take again a typical example, a quick one at that. I was sitting with a business owner and I was just watching him. He had appointed a accountant, and some of you would be able to relate with this example. Accountant बेचारा उसने काम खत्म किया अपना 3:30-4 बजे, and he was doing his stuff. तो business owner calls him, बेटा क्या कर रहे हो? So he says कि सर मैंने फिनिश किया, बाकी काम करो. अच्छा एक काम करो यार, ये ना कुछ पेंडिंग है, हमारे लीड्स आई हुई हैं, फॉलोअप नहीं हुआ है. ठीक है, आप ऐसा करो, फोन उठाओ और सेल्स टीम की लाइन अप करो कॉल्स. आपने उसको पकड़ा दिया, उसको फंसा दिया काम में, वो लग गया करने के लिए. सेकेंड डे यू आर गिविंग समथिंग एल्स. सो द थिंग दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू इज you're saying that he is underutilized and I'm trying to utilize him, but actually you are making him run away from your company. जो अच्छे लोग होंगे, without clear role definition, clear delegation, they'll run away from your organization, right? और रह कौन जाएगा? Perhaps people who are not the top performers but who would stay back, right? So clearly define roles, practice delegation, right? Second piece is, again, the fact that I was talking about is when I talk to them, आप team आइए, somebody who's joined in, तो business owners then and I tell them कि train them to be able to take the role. So they say, अभिमन्यु टाइम नहीं है यार, मेरे पास तो समय ही तो नहीं है अपनी टीम को ट्रेन करने का. आप बोलते हो ट्रेन करो, मैं सुबह से लेकर रात तक लगा रहता हूँ, लंच भी नहीं किया मैंने आज, आप बात कर रहे हो ट्रेनिंग की. Now, what I am not saying is that you open a training center, right? That is not possible for you. But what is possible is to do it in a scientific manner, right? You see, what you need to do is we advise the business owners to look at what are their strength areas, if they are good at marketing or sales or X, Y, Z. Make up a plan to take up those people, the people who are second line, and train them. Put it in your calendar. Something which goes in the calendar actually gets done, and what is not in the calendar will not get done, right? So do that. Also identify which are your not so great areas, right? And take help from somebody in terms of getting that thing delivered or trained. So unless you do it, unless we come out from that, what I call OBS, owner burnout syndrome. So unless we come out of that, we will be we'll not be able to grow. We'll be stuck up at the same level.
So Abhimanyu, that reminds
Yes,
me, sorry to interject here, but I was coaching a client, and this gentleman runs a manufacturing unit. And he had a CEO for a long time. The CEO was pretty much, he told me the CEO needs to retire and take on an advisory role in the company. And I said, great, let's get somebody young so that, who can lead the company for the next, has a good runway, lead the company for the next 10, 15 years. So you got a young gentleman, got him on board. And this gentleman was in the company for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I asked him, how many one-on-one meetings did you have with that young chap? He says, I have not met up with him. He is working in different departments. I said, time out. Where is the one-on-one connection that you're going to have, and where are the challenges that you're going to understand from him? What is he facing? And where is the message that you are giving him about what's your vision? What is the culture that you want to set? So absolutely, you're right. I think having that connection and taking time out for building up your employees is so very crucial. Over to you.
Right. And I quickly add up one third piece, which is again area of concern as we speak, is this point around culture, right? And when we talk about culture, different pictures come in front of our eyes. What is culture? A lot of people ask me, Manu, how do you define culture? Very simple. If I talk about an organization, I would say the way you treat your customers reflects your culture. The way you treat your employees reflect your culture. The way you would have, you support an employee in a tough scenario reflects your culture. The way you handle a new joinee when somebody comes on board reflects your culture. So all this put together is actually your culture. And something which we've failed to realize is that the culture is actually something which flows from the top and not from the bottom up, right? So it is something which is actually set up from the top. So the leader, owner has to set that culture, managers, would shadow him, and then it is again taken down. Something which is bottoms up is usually, more of dictatorship, right? And not in the right direction. So an extremely important area for us to look at. And Ratish sir, I think you would concur with me when we go to an area. So I talk about Bhiwadi, Neemrana, any particular area. If you talk with a blue collar employee as well, you would realize they know who's a good employer in that particular area, right?
Absolutely.
So he would know that this factory Sharma ji is running, बहुत अच्छा पे मास्टर है, टाइम से पैसा देते हैं, एम्प्लॉइज का ध्यान भी रखते हैं, छुट्टियां भी देते हैं, राइट? So that is your employer brand, and that is the culture that you are setting, and these people are happy to jump and go and join them. So this is what we should aspire to inculcate and build the second line. Extremely important point. But the crucial piece is that we know, but we fail to implement. Implementation is the key which is missing. Back to you.
Great. Let me jump, and given the time is short, I'll take you on another tangent. And this, Abhimanyu, is with respect to employee performances and how do MSMEs, what in your experience, how would I measure performance in an SME setup? Because in the corporate sector, and I know very well that there's the rota of 90 days, there's the annual review, and there are goals that are set start of the year. And you clearly know, the employee also knows where he or she has performed, and then you can do a 360 and do a whole bunch of stuff at senior level. What do SMEs do? What is it possible? And how does having a right performance program helps the SME?
Fantastic, great question.
Yeah.
So, before talking about this, I'll just share a small story with all of you. So I was, my daughter is 13 years, and I was just talking to her a few days back, and we were just chatting up, and she was asking me. In fact, we were discussing on a subject, and she was asking me, Papa, is it important to have? Why do we have exams in schools, right? So the point that she was trying to make is that हम लोग पढ़ाई करेंगे, we will learn, and then we will just move on to the next class. Where is this assessment? Where is this question paper which comes at the end of the term? What is the need for it? And then that got me thinking, and sort of similar situation that we have in the business, that a lot of people ask me, Abhimanyu, why do we need to set goals? And where is the need to do continuous feedback and review, right? मैं बोलूंगा तो उसको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, नाराज हो जाएगा. और अगर मैं if I tell you the inside thing, business owner himself or herself doesn't know what is happening in the business. उनको खुद ही नहीं पता है कि हो क्या रहा है business में. So you have all sorts of scenarios. So there are over, if I were to share the statistics, there are over almost 81% of SME business owners who report that they do not have a reliable system to set goals and review performance of their people, right? But do you feel, I'm asking the audience, do you feel, is it important to have goals? Anyone who doesn't agree that, what is the need to have goals? Is it important to have goals to, do regular reviews? Sonal, thank you for sharing that. Yes, we would take up KRAs towards the end. Fantastic. Thank you, Nitya. Very important to have goals. Yes. So extremely important. Yes. And if we do not have the goals, right goals, thank you, Seema. Very, very important. Bhagwan Singh Baghel, thank you, very important. So all of us know that it is extremely important, but all of us also know that every year we set up our goals for the year on 31st of December. And you know what happens to those goals by the time 15th of January comes? 92% of the goals that we set at the start of the year are broken by 15th of January, right? And we do not realize this actually results in us as businesses missing our targets. And this is a spiral. We miss our targets, our morale comes down, nahi ho pa raha hai. We do not look at, piche how much effort, how much mehnat, how much review, how much thought process we have applied, right? And when we see ki, we have set up target, nahi hua, hum chhod dete hain. And this happens a lot, many times in corporates also. You would have heard, targets are revised during the year. And usually they are revised downwards. शुरू किया था, thought process की 10 crore करेंगे, 12 crore करेंगे. But during the year, they realize it is not going to happen. It comes down to 5 crores, 6 crores, 8 crores, right? So the point that I'm trying to make it, in terms of solutions, if we're to look at, there is no denying the fact that goal setting is extremely important. What we need to know that goal setting has to be done in the right manner. It has to be done by people who are trained, right? And when I mean trained, it again has to start from us, from the business owners. If I am not trained, there is no way in the world I can set goals for my managers or I can review for them, right? So first thing is goal setting should be done in the right manner. Second, review performance and give feedback. Again, feedback देने की जैसी बात आती है ना, हम डर के भाग जाते हैं वहां से. We do not enjoy giving feedback, especially if it is, for improvement. आपने भी देखा होगा during your experience. So reviewing is extremely critical. What I have seen is that majority of the cases it is done only once a year. April में हमने goal set किए, right? We have done the increment cycle, we have done everything, we have set the goal, we are very happy. We perhaps do one review, which is towards first quarter, and then what do? We forget about it. Then the cycle turns, next year comes, and then again we are doing the same thing. So the best practice that I would recommend to all of you is that you set the goals and ensure that the review is happening at least once a quarter. If once a month is not possible for you, at least a quarter. Go back and check. If you're not doing it, try and do that. Third piece is about giving feedback. And the way we usually give feedback is, we use all the characters possible in the English dictionary, A to Z, right? And typical conversation when I'm giving feedback to a business owner, I see that, we raise our voice, we are shouting. When we are not happy, we are showing our displeasure. And you know what that salesperson, for example, if it is for a salesperson, what is that person saying, telling us? In his mind, he's actually very smart. In front of you, he might be saying, yes, sir, my apologies, I'll try and do it. Correct karunga, sir, next time I'll see. But in his mind, he's saying that, pardon me for using this language, but, this is an extremely important point and it has to hit home that, आप मेरी बजा रहे हैं, I will ensure that I'll bajao you for the whole year, right? And this is exactly what is happening. So the point is that there is a way to give feedback, right? You need to have the clear goals. You need to be giving the feedback in the right manner. And the best part is that if you're giving the feedback timely, it ensures that the person has enough time during the year to correct his performance, right? What is the impact of doing a postmortem? साल खत्म हो गया, सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, then you are giving feedback. He cannot go back and change the last year. That is already gone, right? So that is the second piece. Third piece is doing the salary appraisals scientifically. Hota kya, you would agree with me. I mean, I'll make a quick point on this, that if we do not have the first and second thing in place, we do not have goals, clearly set goals, and we are not doing the performance review regularly, there is no way we can do a scientific salary appraisal. And you'll be surprised that the band in majority of MSMEs is a very short band. In our research, it is between 8 to 12% of increment. So when I say band means what is the minimum and maximum percentage increase that I give to my employees in a particular year, right? So you can imagine just 4%, which means the best person and the, sort of the least performer, the variance is only 4%. Whereas the top companies that we advise and the companies who are actually beating the market, beating their competitors, there it ranges from 5%, which is covering inflation, to going as high as 25%. So you see the difference. So you are able to reward people for performance. And that's what exactly we need to develop, that particular culture. And the last piece, which is very difficult, because होता क्या है कि बिजनेस ओनर बहुत इमोशनल होता है. पुराने एम्प्लॉइज हैं, मेरे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, इतने टाइम से काम कर रहे हैं, तो चल रहा है सब कुछ. What I'm saying is, and the point is that we need to leave unfit people off the bus. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we need to start a hire and sort of a fire policy, right? But what I'm saying is that if you've given them clear roles, if you've done the performance review regularly, you've given them feedback, the person is not wrong, right? The person is a misfit. The person is not able to fit into our culture and system, right? But he may be a fit somewhere else. So if he goes somewhere else, he'll be a good fit. So we are actually doing a disservice both to that employee, and we are also doing a disservice to our organization, right? So have a conversation with those people after the review. Actually, performance review should not end after you give the increments. Sit with people who are not able to perform, understand the reason, help them out. But if nothing is working out, have a frank conversation with them, give them time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then shake hands. So that is something which the top 1% are able to do. So with that, I'll give it back to you, sir.
Thank you, Himanshu. That was, I think, very interesting. Having an outplacement policy in place, right? In case employees don't fit in. Absolutely correct. I think that's a great thought. Now, friends, those of you who are present, I think Bhavani probably asked a question. Can you repeat this? And I think that was with respect to salary bands. And I think it'll be good for you to sort of give a little bit more thought on that. And meanwhile, while Abhimanyu is answering that question, we do have some time. So if there are any questions on people, performance, culture, and performance reviews and goal setting, please do put it up in the chat box, and we will take probably 2 or 3 good questions that come our way. With that, Abhimanyu, over to you.
So, Parvati sir, yeah. So before answering that question, I'll just try and summarize what we've discussed so far.
Sure.
We need to look at setting up a robust hiring system for us, right? Second piece is talking about setting up a strong second line of managers. And third piece is about having right goals and a review and feedback mechanism, right? So these are the 3 things that we're talking about. And believe you me, the top 1% that we talk about, the top 1% of entrepreneurs who are beating their competitors, who are market leaders, are able to implement some of the strategies that we have spoken about. There could be many more also which are working for them consistently, and they have built in these world-class systems and processes, and so they are able to move ahead. Now, when we, so I may have the ichha of going to Mount Everest, right? तो चाहत तो है मेरे अंदर, बट मैं अगर जाना चाहूँ माउंट एवरेस्ट पे, तो मैं आज निकल के और कल सुबह मैं पहुंच सकता हूं अगर मैं पहुंचना चाहूं तो? दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. तो चाहत होना एक अच्छी बात है, बट अगर मुझे वहां पहुंचना है, द प्रिपरेशन हैज टू स्टार्ट months and years in advance. So it is not going to happen in a day, right? So with that, I will try and answer the question which Bhavani had raised. So Bhavani, see, what happens is that when I say band, it is, again, I'll repeat what I said. A band is actually a range of increments that you're giving to your employees, right? So we are talking about minimum. What is the increment percentage in percentage that you're giving to an employee, and what is the maximum, right? So the percentages are not important. The point I'm trying to make it, a good system, a good indicator of a robust system is that the band would be wide. And if the band is narrow, which means either you do not have a system, or it is, जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में माथा देख के तिलक लगाना. So you do not have a system and you are just giving random hikes to people, right? So usually it is, what we have seen is between 7-8% to 12-13% could be, few percentages here and there. But better companies have the band, the variance up to 20-25% of their best performers compared to their least bottom performers.
Great. Okay, Nitya has a question, and that is, I find there is a conflict that happens when we try to align our culture based on customers and employees. Usually companies focus on customers and miss out on the employees. Your thoughts, how customers and employees can be aligned together.
Okay. So, Nithya, so I could give a very long answer also, but in the interest of time, I'll try and be brief. So I would again come to the point of actually the conflict. You need to ask whether the conflict is actually outside or conflict is inside. You need to ask yourself again that same question which I asked. कि आपने business क्यों शुरू किया था? If the answer is, of course, whatever you wanted to do, but when you look within, you want to take care of your customers and you want to take care of employees, it is not possible to put them into different buckets. So it is a self-reflection question that you need to go back and look within. But I'll give you a short strategy what you can do. And some of the better companies, there are a lot of established research which is there. So actually you as an organization need to take care of the employees, right? You look at any top company, look at Starbucks, look at Apple, look at different industries. If you are able to take care of employees, they in turn will take care of your customers, right? And customers will be then happy to give it back in your bank, right? And this cycle continues. And the other side is also true. So, if you have an employee with poor experience, the person will not be able to serve, the employee will not be able to serve the customer. The customer will go away, right? So to our understanding, if your why is clear, this conflict will go away. And maybe, we can help connect offline. If you want a more detailed answer, you can connect offline and help you find that why.
Yeah, good point. Happy employees lead to happy customers. I think we are pretty much out of time. So folks, I have just one small request, and I know all of you would have found Abhimanyu's talk very insightful. Those of you, and Abhimanyu, would you want to go ahead and close up with your closing thoughts, and then I'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So I would just say that, like they say, Rome was not built in a day. All right. And wherever I want to go, whatever is my goal and objective, it is important to take the first step. It is important to take small steps and move forward. So what I say is that, if you have a mentor, a guide, take help if needed, but move forward, keep learning, extremely important if you want to go from where you are today to your new journey, which I don't know what exactly is your goal. Could be your financial goal, could be a non-financial goal also for your business, right? So I would encourage and urge you to keep learning. We are there. Connect with us on social media. If you want any help, follow us or take help from anywhere. There are, whatever sources that you are able to find, but keep moving forward. And I'll end with one of my, few of my favorite lines to leave you with this thought. चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, चलने में माहिर बन जाऊंगा. चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, तो चलने में माहिर बन जाऊंगा. या तो मंजिल मिल जाएगी या अच्छा मुसाफिर बन जाऊंगा. So with that thought, it is important to make progress and keep learning, keep growing. Have a good evening. And Ratish sir, with that, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Himanshu. That was great. Those of you who are interested, and we do have a 30-minute free session with Himanshu or me. So those of you who are interested, just type interested in the chat box, and we will circle back with you and set up the call. So anybody interested in a 30-minute free session on people, processes, goal setting with either Himanshu or me, just type in interested and we will come back to you. So Simran says interested, Galaxy F12 says very helpful, and I hope insightful too, because I found some extremely insightful, and Neelam Yadav picked up my word, absolutely bang on, insightful. So yes, Simran, we'll definitely come back to you and set up a call with you. Anybody else? Ravi Dafe, Nitya also is interested. Bhavani too is interested. Great. So thank you so much all. Really helpful and great to have you there. I hope the time and hour that you invested with us was well worth it. We will carry on with these series and come back to you with more insightful sessions on a periodic fashion. So thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you so much for taking
Bye-bye.
out your time. It was pleasure interacting with all of you.
So I think people can log off. We are good. Thank you.